talked of the utilization of public funds equity.
Yes.
At the moment, the police hospital in Baghdad is not running because of 800 million. Yet we have prioritized renovation of state house and all that. I mean, is that really a priority? Because the amount that we have been used to make it functional, that will also save the taxpayers quite a amount, because now they are going to private hospitals.
Thank you for that question. We are addressing that. We are going to avail resources for completion of that facility. As a matter of fact, this morning I was having a meeting with the chairman of Defense and Foreign Relations Committee, and my committee is going to avail resources that is going to be used to progressively finish up that project. About State House renovation, I think this has been explained even by Treasury, by CS Treasury, that State House is an old house. Over the years, there's nothing that has been done. If you've been there, you realize that that place was filthy. I first went to State House in the last term when we were invited by President Uhuru Kenyatta, and I found the place filthy. So I think the programs that are happening there in terms of renovation are things that if you go there, you support them. We also don't want to have a country where the office of the president is filthy. Even when we have guests, they would wonder whether this is a serious country. So I think this issue of resources being spent to renovate State House is being blown out of proportion. I think it's something that is a project which is measured, it's a project which is important, and also important for the dignity of the country.
Chair, we've sat through the committees as ministries and flaggers have been presenting their estimates, and many are complaining that there are huge cuts to their budget. How are you going to manage and balance all this interest?
As I told you, we got to a stage we have to live within our means. So that is one of the examples to you that we are determined to ensure that we can only fund what we using the resources we have.
When removing exam numbers?
Where for necessity, for areas that are important, my committee is going to make some considerations. But all departments are complaining that the cuts have happened, and I want to say that we support the cuts as an affront to ensuring that we live within our capacity. So it's not going to be business as usual, but for strategic and important votes, like the exams, those ones we are going to consider as Budget and Appropriations Committee before we finalize our report.
My question is about the funds that we allocated in the last finance review process. I mean the 3 process, like the affordable housing, and also there's also the bit of road maintenance you have talked about. But then, when will Kenyans ever know how much money has been collected into this kitty and your committee intervened so that information is made available?
Yeah.
About the RMLF, what is the performance with the secretarization compared with the other all systems?
We'll ask a question, the second question about ILMF.
We're just asking how is it performing? Is it doing better now under secretarization, or are we still having the same outcome?
Yeah, thank you. For the first question is, I think the amount of money we are collecting from, the first question was on affordable housing. I think the figures are, there's no secrecy because these are public votes, these are public resources. I can be able to avail for you the total votes because I can easily get them from the relevant department. So there's really nothing that is being hidden about money being collected from for the affordable housing. Same as resources that are also being realized from securitization of RLMF. We have received about 60 billion so far, which has been shared out to all pending contracts at about 40% of the pending bills. That has been paid out, and the contractors agreed that after that is done, they will go back to the site, pending reception of the rest of the resources. In total, out of securitization process, we are supposed to receive about 160 billion. We are certain that 160 billion pumped into the road sector, first of all, is going to help us jumpstart the economy, and also we are going to, the court cases, the court awards that are choking us out of failure to meet the contract's terms. we are going to also save on those ones. So I think this is very, very progressive, and I think by end of the year, I will be able to give you more updates on how that process is going on. But we are sure that by the end of the year, half of the resources that we are expecting will have been with us, and you'll see the performance of the economy also getting a strong boost.
My question is tied to what my senior Obuya raised a few weeks ago concerning the budget cuts. Your party leader Raila Odinga has been candid and consistent about the strengthening of devolution, and even proposed a figure of 450 billion in the next financial year, and that TOT has equally backed that proposal, but the National Assembly and the Treasury have come up with 105 billion. Is there a gleam of hope that perhaps they might get something more than 4 or 5 billion in this financial year?
Yeah, definitely there will be an increase, that I can promise. There will be an increase. We are engaging with all key stakeholders as we finalize the division of revenue bill, which is before Senate. Even Baba, we are engaging with Baba. We have also explained to him the reality of the situation, the need for these cuts, because if the national government is going to experience those cuts, the cuts must also affect counties. So we are having widespread consultations with all stakeholders, including Baba. But I can assure you that at least there will be an addition towards that as we conclude the process of division of revenue bill, the passage.
Maybe my question, we've seen that the pending bills verification committee has flagged that about 270 billion shillings worth of pending bills are ineligible. Does this mean that 270 billion shillings worth of air was supplied to government?
I think yeah, that definitely that is what that would mean, and I think that is the reason why these are pending bills from the previous regimes, and that also confirms what I have just said, that we have had serious mismanagement of the economy. Yes, so that is just a confirmation that the economy has been mismanaged in the past, and that actors who are running the economy in the past, they really have no basis of coming up and offering certain criticisms which have no basis. Because if you are the head of state in the previous regime, where pending bills accumulated in billions, in trillions, and then a competent committee set up by, Ouko is one of the most competent auditors that this country has had. So if Ouko says this is ineligible, I think I cannot even question it. I can really trust it. So if Ouko says it is ineligible, it means it was fraudulent. It was fraud. So this also goes to say that we have had fraudulent people in government that have really no basis to come and now tell us or to question, challenge whatever is happening now. I want to agree with you, Leto, that it means that people have been doing this in the counties also. By the way, I know some counties where the only thing people do is to just process documents. You move document from this office, this office, this office. You get signatures, then the money is released without a single work on the ground. So I think this is something that we have to be very careful about as Kenyans. And we want to have, that's why we are saying we want to have a transparent budget process, so that, the programs that are being implemented are public programs. So that if you are doing a particular project in your area, the people there know that project is being done, and they will be able to supervise it themselves. So I think going forward, these are some of the lessons we are experiencing as people now who are, and also as part of budget implementation. One thing that I wanted to add is that in the past, this committee has not been engaged thoroughly in budget implementation. One of the things we've done and we have said we are going to do is that we are going to ensure that every resources we allocate, we follow up and ensure that the programs are being implemented on the ground to tame this issue of, payment of hair and, misuse of public resources.
Now, on the issue of complaints of the budget cuts, does this really mean that when coming up with the budget for the next financial year, you didn't actually factor in the model of zero-based budgeting as was promised?